We are now recording. Oh, wait a minute, let me check
We're now
something.
recording. Today's date is the 28th of
Oh,
May.
it is recording. Okay.
2017. We're here with Julie, and we're going to be talking a little bit about healthcare, and basically stemming from the actions going on in Washington. The House has just passed their legislation. The Senate's going to be probably voting pretty soon on ACA. I think it has a different lettering, AHCA or something like that. And also we have legislation going on in California to start our own. So we've done one other interview before. I'm going to try to minimize my talking and try and make this short enough and get to the point of the human interest in this issue. So Julie, I think that's enough of me already.
So yeah, my story is that I used to be a government employee, and I had excellent health insurance through the government employment. But I really wanted to go out on my own and become self-employed, but I couldn't because of the lack of affordable health insurance and the lack of assurances that I wouldn't be kicked off insurance because of pre-existing conditions. So after Obamacare, we waited several years before making the leap because we wanted to feel pretty secure in the Affordable Care Act, and that it was working and that it wouldn't be taken away from us. So we finally did take the leap. I left state employment, and we got our insurance through the individual market, so not in the exchanges that were set up by Obamacare, but on the individual market. And we did that because for our particular circumstances, those policies better met our needs. And we also are very fortunate enough to be affluent enough to not qualify for any of the subsidies for our health care. So we pay completely out of pocket, and we knew that would be the case when we decided to transfer over to Obamacare. And 2 weeks after we made the switch, my husband was diagnosed with cancer. Now, we run the risk of losing our health insurance again. We run the risk of not having our pre-existing conditions covered, or having our insurance go so high, our premiums be so expensive that it becomes unaffordable. So I am currently trying to make the very difficult decision of whether I want to close my business and go back to state employment, where not only will I not be paying my own insurance, taxpayers are going to be paying my insurance. And not just now, but through retirement, where nobody wants to pay for insurance, nobody likes paying for insurance, but we were so happy to have that opportunity so that we could make our American dream come true and be self-employed. And I'm terrified of what's going to happen to us, because the plans that I have heard in Congress will take our insurance away from us, will make it unattainable. So again, having to make this difficult decision, waiting to hear what happens, and hoping that they try to fix Obamacare instead of destroying it and destroying health insurance for millions of Americans. I'm just one. My husband and I are two people out of the 23 million that are expected to lose health insurance coverage with the current Republican plan. And I hope that doesn't happen.
Wow, thank you, Julie. It's complex, and you've really thought about it for a long time and looked at a lot of different angles on this. And as the interviewer, I'm hearing a lot of this for the first time, and it's hard to digest it. So I hope the viewers watch this a couple of times. She really packed it right in there. I don't really have any more questions that I could make it fill in better. I think you did a really good job of explaining this. I'm hoping that you will You'll view it, and if there's something we missed that you want to add to it, then we could probably take again.
Actually, I do have more that
Okay.
I could add.
Yeah.
So we were in Europe last summer, and we had prearranged with our doctors here in California to get a medical scan in Europe while we were there. So because my husband needed that during our trip. So we had prearranged it. Our doctors here spoke with the doctors there and told us which doctor to go to because they had a relationship with a doctor. So we went to this hospital where my husband got an ultrasound. And for all intents and purposes, as far as I could tell, as a pretty educated spouse of a patient and having been involved all the way through, he received an ultrasound that was exactly the same as the ultrasounds that he has received here in the United States. And it was a beautiful medical facility, beautiful hospital. The staff was very kind, very caring. It was just what you would expect to find at a premier American hospital. And we were shocked when we received the bill. It was 80 euros, which is approximately $90. And that was the full cost. Their patients, their citizens, don't pay for this ultrasound. This is what they charge non-citizens who are coming in and getting medical care. So this is the same as if a non-citizen came to an American hospital and received care. They would get the full bill without any local insurance. They would have to pay out of pocket 100%. So this was the out-of-pocket 100% cost. The out-of-pocket 100% cost for the exact same service here in the United States that my husband received was $1,200. Because of insurance, we paid approximately $425, $450. But that's still a far cry from the 80 euros, $90 that we paid in Europe for the exact same care. We've also learned since then, anecdotally, so we can't corroborate this, but our understanding is that the Netherlands, where we received this treatment, is actually quite expensive for Europe. The going rate is usually $50. Our system is so broken. Our system is so broken. We actually think about possibly going back to Europe to get care. Europe! I mean, you hear of people going to India or Mexico, but it may be cheaper for us to go to Europe. Even though we have insurance, it could be cheaper for us to go to Europe to receive treatment. And that's wrong. And that's why I am such a strong supporter of SB 562, which is the California bill that's aimed to give everybody health care here in California. Because when we have a single payer system, which is what most European countries have, then we can get rid of the waste in our medical care. We now, as Americans, spend approximately 30 cents of every healthcare dollar going to administrative overhead. And that's not administrative overhead like the doctor's overhead. That's administrative overhead that's just dealing with the insurance companies. That's the insurance premiums. That's all the staff that hospitals and doctors have to hire just to figure out the coding so that they can interact with the insurance company. All of that goes away with SB 562. And so that's 30 cents on every healthcare dollar that we get to pocket. And again, I am so fortunate to be affluent enough to have healthcare options. I can go back to government employment and work there. And we are able to afford the insurance that we pay for now. But I would happily pay more in taxes to ensure that everybody has health care. Nobody should have to make decisions about whether they're going to pursue their entrepreneurial dreams, whether they're going to stay in a job that they hate, whether they're going to stay in a bad marriage, all of the different decisions that people have to make when they're considering health insurance. Having health insurance tied to a job is really nonsensical. It's like saying clean water should be tied to your job. Oh, your job doesn't offer that as a benefit? Well, there's the river. Take your chances there. And that's what we're saying to the American people when we don't provide health insurance as a human right. Health insurance is the right thing to do. It's the right time, and this is the right thing to do so that everybody knows that they have health insurance, that they can go to the doctor when they get sick, and they can pursue their dreams and not live a life trapped because they don't have health insurance, or possibly go bankrupt because they don't have health insurance.
Thank you. Well, I don't need to say any more. We'll keep it short, and we'll come back and do another video. And I'm glad you're on board with our team struggling to get health care for everybody and give us the truth. A lot of people, there's a lot to know about this subject, and you obviously do know a lot about it. So I'm glad we came out today to do this.
Great, thank you.
All right. We got it.